Welcome everyone to a new video. In this one we'll have a look at the Thrustmaster TCA Yoke Pack Boeing Edition, which includes both the TCA Yoke Boeing Edition and also the TCA Quadrant Boeing Edition. Over the last couple of 2 or 3 years, I would say, I've been using the Boeing Yoke from Thrustmaster quite extensively on my live streams. And I have thoroughly enjoyed it because it has added immensely to the immersion of flight simming. So let's have a look at some key points of the Thrustmaster Boeing Yoke. And first of all, officially it is licensed for the Xbox, Xbox One and Xbox Series XS, and of course compatible with PC. It's also an officially licensed Boeing Yoke and throttle quadrant and inspired by the iconic Boeing 787 airliner. And according to Thrustmaster, it is a 1-to-1 scale ergonomic replica. It also has a so-called suspend pendular mechanism, which replicates the pendular sensation experienced in genuine Boeing Dreamliner airliners. It has a 21 centimeter range of travel. And this really adds to the immersion, I can tell you. And if you think those movements are exaggerated, we'll have a look at one of my older Boeing videos where I was flying the Boeing 737 Classics. Still surprises me, even to this date, how large the inputs are that are being done through the yoke. And the pendular mechanism really does give you the impression as if you are moving a yoke which is connected to the floor. Another big plus is the adjustable yoke springs. You have 4 in total, which help you adjust the resistance. Personally, I have all 4 springs installed because I do want to have a bit more resistance when flying my add-ons. Another thing that really stands out is the way the yoke is being made. It has a 100% metal internal yoke structure for excellent sturdiness and balanced weight distribution of controls, as well as an extended product lifespan. And even though it has a plastic coating, you can definitely feel below that it's metal. And after 2 years of using it, it still feels like pretty much the first day when I took it out of the box. A huge advantage of the Boeing Yoke is also the fact that you have 18 buttons. You have an 8-way point of view switch, a mini joystick, trigger buttons, for example, to use that as push to talk buttons, 2 separate sliders that allow you to either map thrust levers to that, or I'm actually using it for zoom in and zoom out function. The 8-way point of view switch I use obviously to map viewpoints in the flight sim. And the mini joystick I use to slew the viewpoints around. Last but not least, you have also a little gear lever for landing gear up and down function. Moving on now to the TCA Quadrant Boeing Edition. This quadrant also has many modifiable buttons, but also 2 rotary selectors, which are very useful when you have an autopilot where you can select heading, speed and altitudes, for example. The thrust levers have a nice large range to adjust the thrust in-game. The speed brake lever also has a nice big range. And on the left and right hand side of the thrust levers you have a button to disconnect your auto thrust, for example. There are also 2 individual thrust reverse levers. However, these can only activate and deactivate the reverse thrust. So you can't modulate the amount of reverse thrust, unfortunately. The throttle levers can be swapped so that the speed brake lever can be exchanged for a flap lever, for example. Or you can map all throttles to 1 lever and have the speed brake and flap lever installed at the same time, as you can see here in the picture. Just like the yoke, the throttle quadrant is also Xbox compatible, so it works with Xbox One and the Xbox Series XS. I don't want to forget that both the yoke and the throttle quadrant have an excellent mounting system, so it's very easy to mount and dismount to your desktop. Alright, so we've covered a lot of things. However, finally I would say that the Boeing Yoke is excellent. I really enjoy flying with it. It does help with the immersion and helps you control the aircraft much better. Also, the amount of buttons you have on the yoke is fantastic. You can map different aircraft systems to those or different viewpoints that you can quickly access through those buttons. Also, the setup in the flight sim regarding the axes and the buttons is also very easy. It's a very plug-and-play style. Now, the throttle quadrant, while it's not bad, however, it does not match the quality of the Boeing Yoke from Thrustmaster. It just doesn't feel as sturdy as the Yoke. The buttons and the levers are just a little bit too loose, but overall it does what it's supposed to do, and the buttons do work nicely. Again, plug-and-play style with the flight sims. Very versatile in the mapping of those buttons. The range of the thrust levers themselves are good. It's very nice to control the thrust with those, so no complaints on that part. Right, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope those of you who have asked me about the Yoke in my live streams, I hope you've got the answers here. If not, if you have further questions, put them down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, as always, happy landings.